Honor Blackman's life was nothing short of extraordinary. Born in Canning Town, East London in 1925, she grew up in an environment defined by hardship. Poverty, unemployment, and post-war struggles shaped her childhood, but from an early age, she showed signs of resilience. At 9 years old, a poetry reading at the local library ignited her love for performance, sparking the dream that would guide her future. Her father encouraged her ambitions, giving her a choice on her 16th birthday between a new bicycle or elocution lessons. Choosing the lessons was a turning point, opening the door to Shakespeare, John Donne, and Ibsen under the guidance of her tutor. Soon, she was training at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama, even while working exhausting shifts at the Home Office to fund her studies. During the war, Honor took on a daring role as a motorcycle dispatch rider for the Civil Defense, carrying secret communications across London during blackouts. Nicknamed Top Gear Tessie, she fearlessly rode through bomb raids and once delivered vital Enigma data during an air raid on Victoria Station. Her wartime courage revealed the determination that would later define her career. Honor's early acting years were equally dramatic. As an understudy in The Guinea Pig, she was suddenly pushed on stage without warning when the lead fell ill. Her flawless performance astonished critics and launched her career. But it wasn't without danger. While filming Fame is the Spur, a horse stepped on her hair, nearly killing her. Still, she pressed forward. By the 1950s, she joined the rank organization's Charm School, enduring low pay, long hours, and crushing studio control. Despite setbacks, she delivered memorable performances in films like Quartet and So Long at the Fair, proving her blend of glamour and grit. Honor Blackman's true breakthrough came in the early 1960s when she joined the television series The Avengers. Originally, the role of Kathy Gale had been written for a man, but producers cast Blackman at the last minute without changing the script. She played it with authority and strength, creating television's first truly equal female action hero. Her leather jumpsuits, designed for durability during real judo throws, became iconic, while her training at London's Butequay Judo Club gave authenticity to her fight scenes. Within 2 years, she earned a brown belt, an achievement rare for women of the time. Kathy Gale was unlike any female character television had seen before. She rarely needed rescuing, stood her ground against villains, and projected independence. Audiences admired her, but censors panicked. In Britain, whipping sequences were heavily cut, and in America, entire episodes were banned. Yet the controversy only fueled her popularity. She inspired future characters across television, even influencing early Doctor Who. Off-screen, her image spread into popular culture, sparking a national fashion trend and inspiring the novelty song Kinky Boots, which became a surprise chart hit decades later. Despite her fame, Honor decided to leave The Avengers after 43 episodes. Many assumed she left to star in Goldfinger, but she explained she wanted to depart at her creative peak, not for money or bigger opportunities. Still, her timing led directly to her most famous role. In 1964, at the age of 39, she was cast as Pussy Galore in Goldfinger. It was a bold decision by producer Albert Broccoli, who believed her commanding presence and real martial arts ability would captivate audiences. She was older than Sean Connery, breaking Hollywood's unwritten rules, and she gave Bond's world a woman who matched him in strength, wit, and maturity. Goldfinger marked a turning point not only in Honor Blackman's career, but also in the James Bond franchise itself. As Pussy Galore, she redefined what it meant to be a Bond woman. Unlike earlier portrayals of fragile or decorative characters, Pussy was self-assured, independent, and unafraid to challenge Bond directly. Her role as the leader of an all-female flying squad emphasized her authority, while her judo skills, real and not staged, added a unique toughness to the character. Blackman herself often performed her own stunts, giving her screen presence and authenticity unmatched at the time. Her casting was unconventional. At 39, she was significantly older than the standard Bond girl template and, in fact, older than Sean Connery himself. Yet her maturity became an asset. Instead of appearing as a sidekick or conquest, she stood as Bond's equal. Critics and fans noted that her sharp wit and commanding personality changed the dynamic of the story, giving Goldfinger a distinctive edge. The film's enormous success cemented Pussy Galore as one of the most memorable figures in Bond history. However, Honor's time with Bond also highlighted her independence as an actress. She frequently stated that she disliked the term Bond girl, which she felt reduced her achievements to a stereotype. For her, Pussy Galore was not just another glamorous role, but a chance to bring depth to a character in a male-dominated franchise. After Goldfinger, Honor was in demand worldwide, yet she carefully selected her projects. She avoided being typecast and instead sought roles that challenged her. This decision reflected her determination to maintain control of her career rather than be defined by a single role. It was the same resilience that had guided her from her early struggles in East London to international fame. Following the global success of Goldfinger, Honor Blackman became a household name, admired for her elegance, wit, and fearless performances. Yet, instead of chasing Hollywood glamour, she carved her own path with remarkable independence. She returned to British cinema and television, often preferring projects that allowed her creative freedom rather than big-budget roles that risked typecasting. This decision showed her clear vision of long-term sustainability in her career rather than short-lived fame. In the late 1960s and 1970s, she appeared in a wide range of films, including dramas and comedies, proving her versatility. She also ventured into theater, where she showcased her love for live performance. The stage gave her a closer connection with audiences, something she cherished deeply. Her ability to move seamlessly between screen and stage made her one of Britain's most respected actresses of her generation. Beyond acting, Honor demonstrated courage in speaking her mind. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she was vocal about political and social issues. She openly criticized stereotypes in film and television, advocating for stronger roles for women. Later in life, she even entered politics, joining the Liberal Democrats and standing for election in the 1990s. Though she did not win, her participation reflected her desire to influence change beyond the screen. Her personal life also reflected her independence. She married twice, but often emphasized her fulfillment as an individual rather than being defined by relationships. In interviews, she described herself as a fighter, both in career and personal choices, staying true to the spirit that first made her famous as Kathy Gale in Pussy Galore. By the time younger actresses followed in her footsteps, Honor had already blazed a trail, proving that women in the entertainment industry could command respect on their own terms. Honor Blackman's legacy extends far beyond her most iconic roles. To generations of fans, she represented strength, independence, and a refusal to conform to the narrow expectations often imposed on actresses of her time. Her portrayals of Kathy Gale and Pussy Galore created a lasting shift in how women could be depicted on screen, capable, intelligent, and equal to their male counterparts. This influence carried into later decades, shaping the roles offered to women in action and adventure genres. Even in her later years, Honor remained active in the entertainment industry. She appeared in television shows such as Doctor Who and Coronation Street, continuing to demonstrate her versatility. Her career spanned more than 6 decades, an extraordinary achievement in an industry that often discards women as they age. Honor defied that trend, staying relevant and admired well into her 80s. Her impact was not only professional, but also cultural. She embodied a shift in attitudes during the 1960s, when society was beginning to embrace women's liberation and broader freedoms. For many, her characters were a reflection of that change, a blend of glamour and grit that resonated with audiences. Off-screen, she remained outspoken, whether discussing her dislike of the Bond girl label or voicing her political beliefs. When Honor passed away in 2020 at the age of 94, tributes poured in from across the world. Fellow actors, critics, and fans celebrated her as a trailblazer who had left an indelible mark on film and television. Her performances remain timeless, and her influence continues to inspire actresses who seek roles with strength and complexity. Honor Blackman's story is not just that of a celebrated actress, but of a woman who lived with conviction, courage, and a determination to define her own legacy.